Dear Journal, I need help with a puzzle or two. Well, two, might as well be honest. I've been lurking some puzzle forums and I would love to ask some questions, but the things about those places is that I think you're generally expected to at least partially participate in other people's puzzle problems, and I am generally unable and somewhat unwilling to work on puzzles that I can't benefit from. Yet here I am asking you for help. I accept my hypocrisy, and I recommend you do the same. However, I offer what I can in the form of placing a cache, a quick adventurous one that isn't a puzzle at all. That is what I am doing here in the water, which to some is nothing, but to me it's a confrontation with a low-level phobia. Mildly dirty water that you can't see all the way through. Who knows what lurks beneath? You hear about those fish or bacteria, whatever they are, probably something with flagellum, that blast right in through your pee hole. Actually, just fish in general. I know I walked into your territory, but I will spear you with a stick if you rub against me. I don't care how harmless or Disney-esque it is, I will blast you out of the water before you can blast in through my dick. Gods, I wish I could animate that. That would be sweet. Oh, it also doesn't help that when I was young, I saw the one episode of MASH with all the nightmares and Hawkeye has his arms removed and floats down with all the prosthetic limbs. Why the hell am I putting that in my journal? So, yeah, my geocache involves a water crossing. I just wasn't sure how deep it gets here while I was setting it up. Marked off on 2 levels. White is knee height. Red is your testicles are about to get cold. So hopefully we won't hit the red. Oh yes, it was cold. From a large to a micro, if you catch my drift, but I found a nice tree where I attached this peculiar tube that contains a QR code. I was going to make it difficult to open by using screws or bolts, but I figured if one just swam across and realized they didn't have the appropriate size metric tool on their person, they might be inclined to just chuck the whole thing in the creek. So the code takes you to an unlisted YouTube video that shows where the final is. This is all under the storyline of a smartphone attachment that turns your phone into a cache-sniffing device, somewhat damaged, that leads you right to the cache via this first-person view. And on it goes until it gets to the cache. It's difficult, I think. I'm pretty sure this is the only way to that tree outside of swimming up or down from somewhere else. The landmarks in the video are far from the first stage, and the final is also in the water because, hey, why not? You're already wet. The cache isn't here. This was just my first choice for the final. However, I forever shunned it because I almost touched the furry spider with my gloved hand.
Oh my Jesus, that's a big spider!
Arachnids aside, overall difficulty 4, terrain 4 with the appropriate attributes selected. I like to think I put some effort into this cache, which is a retread of something I've done before, but it takes some setup. Also, some mild embarrassment as passerbys notice my camera and me standing over there, wet from the waist down, leaning on a staff like a wizard with poor bladder control. Let's listen to their conversation.
I mean, you've seen me catch one on the Delaware, you saw what it was. Yeah. That boy was a tanky ball.
Recording a YouTube? What are you, my dad? Did you learn that from the World Wide Web? Non-waving ignorant motherfuckers. So yeah, I put some effort into that, and that thankfully makes me feel slightly less pathetic asking for help on these 2 puzzles. The first one is only a difficulty 2.5, and it has 7 pictures. Each one contains some numeral-related information on legs or feet, and are presented in this particular order as I show you here. And the only thing I can think of doing in my narrow thought process is disrupted by the clue, which reads, "If it's adding up, you're doing it wrong." Well, I don't know what else to do with numbers. I may no longer be a novice geocacher, but I certainly have not advanced from beginner status in the puzzle area despite cyber-stalking well-known puzzle solvers. Jeez. Puzzle number 2. A 4.5 difficulty that is also 7 images, and the CO kindly states that if you show them where you are in your work, they will help you out. But I have no work, as I have no idea where to start. Instead of coordinates, these 7 images are a puzzle that will solve to a 7-letter word, which you put in certitude and get some chords for the next stage, which I think is another puzzle. Does that mean each image here represents a letter, perhaps some sort of phonetic sound? You got the rocker with some science, the number 1 with the barber swirly, the belt tower Or, I don't know, Marvin, a Martian, on a starry night. Oh dear, you broke the Colorado 300 space modulator. New Orleans, and this side up? The question marks are clearly up, right? Is it supposed to be that relevant? Levy up, New Orleans up? I don't know. Rad attention, radical radiation, and then blow the roof off the house in this fun-colored dot world. Does any of this lead you to any letter or any part of a 7-letter word? Not me. Skimbosh, doesn't it render the find less enjoyable because, you know, much like one's first time having sex, you needed someone to show you what to do, hold your hand and wipe away the tears of confusion? What? No one else? Huh. Yes, getting help for puzzles does sour the geocrack, but sour geocrack is better than no geocrack, and it's not like I'm just asking without offering anything in return, like a leech.
Leeches! Oh my God! Leeches! Jesus Christ!